everyone, hope you are good and be happy always. Once again, welcome to Shachi's Academy, and we are discussing chapter 3 of our Indian Economic Development for class 12 CBSE NCERT, that is Indian Economy from 1950 to 1990. We already discussed Indian Industrial Policy Resolution of India 1956 and other details just like land ceiling laws and consolidation of land holdings, etc., land reforms and technical reforms. We will be discussing the rest half of our chapter in this video. So let's begin with our topic. All this portion has been discussed in our previous part. So go and first study this portion, and now we will start with small scale industry to promote employment and equity. See, small scale industries has the basic quality of getting established, or they can be established in any area of the country because they need lesser investment than large scale industries to be established. So they need lesser finance, lesser inputs and resources, and they can be established in different regions of the nation, and they can promote regional development and equal development of all the parts of the nation and the regions. So industrialization has two dimensions: growth of large scale to generate infrastructure facilities, and growth of small scale industry to generate employment and promote social justices. So large scale industries were taken up by India to develop infrastructural facilities in India, because these are the industries which can carry on this much amount of weight and type of work. Small industries cannot take up the task of infrastructure development of any country. So many large scale industries were established by India to develop its infrastructure, that's like roads, railways, transportation facilities and other strategic purposes. Then growth of small scale industries to generate employment. Small scale industries can be established with lesser amount of inputs and resources in different parts of the country, so the people living around that area can get employment in those industries, and in this manner it can promote your social justice. Then what is a small scale industry? A unit having fixed investment of less than rupees 10 crore. What is fixed investment? Investment in your plant, that is building in which you carry on production, in which you keep your machine, and the machinery itself. The machines and the plant are known as capital of your industry. So an industry which has rupees 10 crore of fixed investment is known as small scale industry. Then turnover of less than rupees 50 crore. And it has turnover of less than 50 crores in today's times. Importance or role of small scale industries, SSI. The role of SSI were outlined by the Karve Committee, and Karve Committee is also known by the name of Village and Small Scale Industries Committee in 1955. It designated or outlined the role, what will be the role of small scale industries in the development of economy and for the development and employment for the people of India. Now, it outlined important characteristics of SSI. SSI is labor intensive and hence employment friendly. Why labor intensive? Because it has lesser amount of capital, it has lesser amount of money and assets. So it uses more labor, more people, more workers to carry on its production, and that's why it is employment friendly. In that manner, it provides more employment to people or not? So that's why it is known as employment friendly and provides more employment. SSI shows locational flexibility. So it is equality oriented in a regional equality. What is locational flexibility? That means it can be established, or it is flexible enough to be established in any part of the country, in any region, may it be town, may it be village or anywhere, because it has smaller size of machinery, it has smaller size of plant, and it needs lesser amount of inputs and can be established anywhere. So it is flexible. Okay, it has locational flexibility. Locational means location, the town or city or village where it can be established, any location, the area or the place. So it is equality oriented. So it promotes equality among different areas because it leads to more employment generation in different areas and leads to equality, and it is regional equality. It establishes and enhances, promotes regional equality. SSI needs small investment, hence it is equity oriented across different sections of society. It gives more employment, it can be established by people who has lesser amount of investment or money. Take for example, you have some amount of money, you take some amount from your father or mother anywhere, because it's not a large industry, and small scale industry can be established with lesser amount of money. So what will you do? You will take some loan from back, you will take some loan from your father and kinship, that means brother or sisters or cousin, etc., and you will establish some industry. So that is equity oriented. That means different sections of society can participate in industrial production, in industry establishment and development of the nation. So it is equity oriented. People can establish small scale industries with lesser ease than your large scale industries, because large scale industries can be established only with huge amount of investment of money. Only government and bigger private sector houses, or just like Ambani's and Tata's, can establish very large industries, and people like us, very normal people, cannot establish your large scale industries. Then trade strategy of import substitution. So we were focusing after 1950, we were focusing just on trade substitution. Trade substitution was followed from 1950 to 1990. It was called inward looking trade strategy, depending on import substitution. What is inward looking? That means looking into your own house or your own nation for production and generation of income. That is inward looking. Outward looking means export policy, promoting exports. Inward looking means promoting your import substitution, that means producing those commodities which you can produce in your own nation, and do not import from other nations. For example, if your mother knows how to make dosa or idli or kachori or samosa at your home, she will make those kachori and samosa at your home and won't purchase from outside, and she can save money. In the same manner, India was producing the machine, the types of commodities which it could produce on its own, and was stopping import from outside so that it could save its foreign exchange. What is import substitution? It implies domestic production of those goods which the country was importing from other countries to save foreign exchange. For example, if we have lesser amount of money, so we will produce those things at home which we can produce and invest on those commodities which we can't produce. For example, I can make samosa at home, so I will spend no money, I will not spend any money on purchasing samosa from outside. What I'll do, I'll make at home. But I can't make laptop, I can't make lights, I can't make tube lights and fans and camera, etc. So what I will do, I will purchase those commodities from outside. So this is what India was doing. It was producing those commodities which it could produce at home, and other commodities it was importing from outside world. Then foreign exchange was used for buying plant and machinery which could not be produced domestically. Just like I can't produce laptop, India could not produce some of the sophisticated machines, large scale machines, so it was importing from outside. For development, and was also called as developmental imports. So the investment which was done by India on buying industrial machines from outside nations was known as developmental imports. It tried to save foreign exchange by inward looking trade strategy. Inward looking trade strategy means putting a halt, putting a stop or pause on imports of unnecessary items into India so that it could save some of the foreign exchange and not waste it, because it was very scarce, it was very rare. What is policy of export promotion? Making domestic industries competitive. That means your production should be of good quality and it should not be of very high price. Then only it can compete with international commodities in international markets. So India pursued a policy of industry upgradation and make its commodities competitive, and increasing domestic production. So it increased commodities which could be exported to other nations and earn foreign exchange by exporting those commodities to other nations. Protect domestic industries from international competition. Now, it was saving or protecting its own industries because its industries were not that competitive. It could not compete with MNCs which came from India, which came from other nations, which were established in other nations, and that's why it protected its own industries. Salient features of growth strategy of India and its good and bad effects. Salient features: central role of public sector. Central role of government sector played key role in development of your economy of India from 1950 to 1990. Then private sector to play secondary role under permit license Raj. So private individuals were to obtain permits or licenses before producing any commodity, before establishing any business or expanding their business or other tasks. Limitation on capacity of operation of private firms, restricting expansion. So they were not allowed to expand. Private sector was not allowed to expand without any license or without any permission prior to the government. Then import substitution and saving foreign exchange. So here import substitution was done. That means we were stopping or we were just limiting our imports to minimal level so that we could save foreign exchange, and that foreign exchange was used for developmental imports, for buying machines for development. Heavy duty on imports. So to curb imports, we were imposing heavy duty, heavy taxes on imports, so that people of India could not import commodities from outside and they had to purchase commodities from inside our country only, for our own industries. Small scale industries generated employment. So small scale industries were given a key role to generate employment in economy. Then good effects. Big push to economic growth and structural change. You all know that private sector was not in condition to give a big push to economic growth of the nation. Why? Because there were very few private sector houses, private individuals which had money at the time of independence, and secondly, they were not interested in investing money. Why? Because there were very less prospects of earning profits in the economy, because demand was low, people were poor and they did not have any employment. So only government could take up the role of developing or building nation. So nation building activity was given to public sector. Industrial diversification was done because government invested in different types of industries. It did not invest only in consumer industries, because private sector is normally interested in commodities which is sold in market at higher prices and it's purchased by affluent consumers, but it does not happen with public sector. It manufactures all different types of industries, just like railways, railway coaches, railroads, buses, transportation, roads, etc., airways, etc., in which they did not have much amount of profit, but nation was going to be built by their efforts. So public sector played a key role and industrial diversification was done by public sector. Sunrise industries. Government laid heavy stress on sunrise industries and made them to produce more and more electronic items so they could be exported to other nations and India could earn more and more foreign exchange, and people of India could also buy electronic items from these industries. Then large scale industries like Rourkela and Bhilai steel plants led to infrastructure shift. So there were large scale industries, steel industries were established in India so they could develop India and its infrastructure. Growth of SSI led to creation of jobs and growth with social justice was ensured in India with the help of these industries. Then bad effects. Excessive dominance of public sector, even bread and shoes were produced by public sector, which undermined the role of private sector. Here in India, public sector was given key role, but private sector lagged behind in development and could not generate more profits for the economy of India. Public sector monopolies turned out to be dead social weight, leading to corruption, inefficiency and leakage, etc. So corruption started happening in those industries. Babu Raj was there, Panchayati Raj and License Raj was there, and private individuals were not allowed to develop and they were not given licenses for production, established industries, and in that manner it undermined the whole process of development of economy and India could not grow during those years. Permit license Raj was misused by big players. Big industries, bigger players or bigger private players could get licenses very easily, but small individuals, you may say like you and me, normal people, could not get licenses for production or for establishing any industry. So the people like normal people were lagging behind and they could not get industrial licenses and more industries could not be established. So India lagged behind in industrial revolution also or industrial development also. Production of domestic industries made them incapable of international competition and due to low standard of goods. So when government provides production to industries, they tend to produce cheaper type of items and those cheaper items could not sell in international markets and people of India were consuming in inferior types of goods in India. So it was a losing battle, a lost battle in both the international sector and India as well. Saving foreign exchange rather than export promotion proved to be an inefficient strategy which depleted foreign exchange reserves. This was like just saving without earning. When you save more but earn nothing, that is useless. Why? Because if you don't earn, how will you save? Same happened with India. It was just saving. It was not earning anything through exports. It was not producing competitive goods. It was not selling in international markets. It was not earning good foreign exchange, and that's why it was left with lesser amount of foreign exchange, and it depleted its foreign exchange reserves. In 1990, we did not have enough foreign exchange just to get inputs for even 1 week. So that was our condition. Okay. So what happened over here is from 1950 to 1990, sorry, in India, public sector was given key role. It led to infrastructure building. It led to diversification of industries and other developmental activities. But again, it undermined the private sector. It protected industries, and Indian industries could not function well during that time period. And we were left with lesser amount of foreign exchange due to our inward-looking policy of import substitution and export suppression. So that was all about our chapter 3. We will see you in chapter 4. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless you.